Greetings and thank you for being here. I discovered that in the last 2 to 3 years, America has had a huge resurgence of people relocating. And so I was thinking that some places that I am very familiar with, I thought maybe I would pass along some very useful information to, well, potentially help you relocate. And that's what we're going to do. When I jump into this episode, and we're going to talk about a place that I know to be very special. So come on in. It's the Earnest Mann Show, baby, with your host, Earnest Mann. So now, like I said, if you are someone that wants to make, a pretty significant change in your life, and you were considering the West Coast, but you've heard all the stories about all the nightmare that is California, and that, living here in the Pacific Northwest myself, I can tell you it's no shit. I mean, people fleeing California like rats from a fucking ship, going in every direction, including due north, which is Oregon. That pretty much sums it up. It really is that bad. So, bearing that in mind, if you want something different, and you don't mind rain, come here. I know, for instance, there are many other people that talk about this state, talk about the cities within this state, and they live here. And but I'm older, and I think Briggs is one of them. And Briggs is his own thing. I don't want to piss him off or anything until I get a longer and stronger legal team. But anyway, it's I use a different language set to describe things, and it's where does one begin unpacking all this crazy shit? I mean, describing the great state of Oregon. How do I do this? So one of the things that's commonly said here is that this is one of the very few places that you can have 4 climates and visit them all in one day. And technically that's true. It is. So you got your coastal, and you got your high desert. You got your direct ocean. So you have all that. And you can, especially, in the spring, summer, you can do those things. It's true. You and about 300 other million fucking people, because that's what it's going to look like and feel like. And that is the reality of the situation, because everybody that lives here, including yours truly, have been pent up and dealt with 8 months of rain. And that's basically what it fucking is 8 months of 8 months of more or less drizzle. And by and large, the other weird thing that isn't mentioned about the rain is it just kind of more or less, I mean, sometimes it may rain really hard for 20 minutes, a half hour or so. It could really come down. But generally, it's just a cold, drizzling, endless drizzle for 8 months. So, and here's the weird thing. Again, that's not mentioned. It's seldom thunderclaps. I mean, you get them, and when you do, like I had one about a month ago or so, it shook the house, and of course I live in Salem, but it literally shook the house. It was like it was basically, it sounded like fucking bomb went off, like 50 feet away from my house. It's not that often, but it does happen. But generally, it rains all the time, but you don't get thunder and lightning. You get like maybe a little tiny bit here or there. It's just weird. It's a weird feeling. It's certainly not Midwestern. It's certainly not East Coast. But it rains all the time, and you know, thunder or lightning. So there's that. So yeah, and as far as these other beautiful places, and yes, Oregon certainly has plenty of natural beauty that you'll be able to see in any direction with 5 million other people. And that's the thing. When you see these promo videos, these happy campers, these pricks, and they, you know, and they're using drones and shit, and they're pointing out areas that are absolutely scenic and beautiful, and all that. But these things somehow are staged. I don't know if it's like really early in the morning or what, or how the hell they're doing it, or they're hiring professionals. I'm not certain. But I do know that's not the reality when you go to the coast. If you go to the coast in, especially early spring, when the weather breaks, usually around, it's steadily warm, doesn't do that until April or May. I'm not shitting. It's that late in the season. You have to, it's not reliably warm, consistently reliably warm until, April-ish, May, depending on the year. March is pretty much slowly transitional, but, like today, it's still fucking cold. It's cold. It's supposed to warm up Monday, Tuesday. Right now, it's cold. So, but yeah, when things break, you want to go to the coast. You want to go to, say, Newport. These are the very big common areas that, on the coast for fun and some tourism and whatever. But all these small towns that dot the coast would be like Newport, Lincoln City. You head way up north, you're going to like Tillamook, that's way up north of that. But there's a whole number of towns and cities on the coast, Coos Bay area, all this. And they can be in their own right. Don't get me wrong. They're nice and they're quaint and they're pretty and they got great food and lodging and they got all this. But you're also going to be there and it's going to be bumper to bumper. People. And I mean, it's really unpleasant. It's like, so yeah, I mean, it's, it's kind of like people, get on fucking elevator and 5,000 all have to get on once. And so that's what you have to look forward to spring, summer. And it stays that way throughout the summer because it's not only the locals here, but people from other states, other places. They fly in, they travel in, and they're with their relatives, and so they're here too. So the merchants, the people that live on the coast, that actually live on the coast, it's forever and ever been a fucking, a love-hate relationship because they love the money, but they actually hate the tourists. They smile and they go through the motions, but I know quite a few of them. And I know the merchants, and it's just like between us that we talk, and yeah, it burns them out, and naturally, that you have to rely relentlessly on tourist people coming in. This is like the Egyptians that had to rely on the fucking floods from the Nile because it floods, but it sustains your life. So there's that. But if you are anchored here and you live here, as I do, you also have to deal with the huge influx of people, and it's not just people for the coast or whatnot. It's just people visiting for endlessly for sports events, all different kinds of events that happen. Bumper to bumper people. So it makes it really unpleasant. So there's that. Overall, though, a few other things that I would mention that's really important, and basically, this is like the fucking the 800-pound gorilla in the room that no one wants to talk about, but I am, because, well, I don't really care about appeasement. I care about, trying to let you know something that you could use. So, we have, we are a sister city, of, Mexico, and we are definitely a sanctuary city. And what that means is that we have, what's the word? We are culturally diverse. Actually, not really. Because, like, if you're in New York City, where I grew up, that's culturally diverse. You have all these different, cultures and languages. Not here. You got a lot of primarily Mexicans. A lot of Mexicans. So, that has been causing difficulties with the local population, even though many of them didn't want to admit it. So then that causes a problem on the coast as well in the summertime. So there's that. And there's just so much I could talk about this, and I can't go on forever, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and this is a huge divide between what is East and West Oregon, and that is divided basically through I-5, which runs the length of the state, one major highway, and it's the folks that live east of that and the folks that live west of that. And here in Salem, the capital, they make the rules. And pretty steadfastly socialist. Definitely. So and that has for years and years and years. This is nothing new. It's caused a great deal of contention because basically the people, the ranchers, the normal working folk, the normal folk who work hard for their money, not getting $10 frappuccinos or whatever the hell they're called. They actually work, but they have to suffer. I mean, they have to live under the laws that are made here in Salem, and they got a lot of resentment because, let's just say, they kind of have an agenda, you might say, here in Salem. It's not exactly good common sense. So I hope that little bit of information about the state People's Republic, as I call it, of Oregon is helpful. And if there's anything else you want to know, you know how to reach me, and to subscribe and hit the button and all that damn jazz. And if you got any questions, you want to know something, let me know. I'm here. And geez, what can I say? What do I usually say? I have to think about this one. Well, I could say something like, until next Monday or Friday. This is Ernest, and I usually always am